gentlemen, the higher education of women. There are some women who choose to overlook their natural maternal instincts in favor of academia. Literary women, scientists, blue stockings. The fact of the matter is this: women cannot dispense with the physiological limitations of their sex, however hard they try. We have a finite amount of energy. A man who has pulled the field all day hasn't the capacity for mental taxation. Likewise, a woman who expends her energy exercising the brain does so at the expense of her vital organs. Women's nerve centers are fragile. Pressure may weaken them, leaving them unfit for motherhood. In short, the higher education of women may be detrimental to their physiology, to the family, to the future of our society. Gentlemen, degrees for women.
Degrees for women.
It's a dangerous idea.
What an idea.
Maybe a pity for women that they are born women. But in running the intellectual race, it's unlikely they will succeed, and perilous even try.
Ladies, welcome to Girton. Underwear!
Follow me bones in her hand, plain as day.
Her rings and the bones, but not an ounce of flesh.
Extraordinary.
They're calling them X-rays until they think of a proper name.
Well, let me see then.
Come on, Edwards.
I haven't got them.
He has.
He's going to claim them as his own discovery.
Hand them over.
I told you, I haven't got them.
Right, Sergeant, you take the leg.
Go! Come on, get off! Go! Ah!
The devil throws us
Get
in.
off! Get off! The girls are coming, look!
Well, well, well.
The goats descend.
So this is the future.
I give them out a week.
I rather like them being here to study.
Oh, you can have that one in front.
You bugger off.
I dare you.
What?
Speak to one.
Me?
Go on.
He'll be here any minute.
So crack on, old chap. 10 guineas.
30 guineas. You're a debt, Edwards. You know you need it.
I can't and I won't. It's not proper.
30 guineas, Edwards. That's how much we stay in Paris. Imagine. What would Marty say to that?
Marty wouldn't say anything. I won't. Oh, all right. You're on. Hello. Good day. How do you do? I hope you don't mind. It's just, I saw your friend over there. She's breathtaking. Would you mind?
Sir, may I help you?
Damn it, she's coming over. What's her name?
Miss Bott.
Thank you, Miss.
Moffat. Tess. What?
Oh, hell.
Are you causing a disturbance, sir?
No, sir. Ma'am. But
Come on, Edwards.
I'm sorry. I was just so surprised. Delighted to see you, of course. This is science. Oh, hell. Did you knit that yourself?
How dare you?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Oh, don't worry, Edwards. Some women find verbal incontinence quite attractive.
Gentlemen! Ladies! What a day! I even slept a week! Rarely have our halls been graced by a man of such international renown. Dr. Maudsley is at the forefront of psychiatric thinking. He even dined with Darwin, for Christ's sake, and they're naming a hospital after him. So please, do us kind, be excellent. You are most welcome.
So, I'm told you're the best students in the world. Is that so?
Yes.
Let's not waste any time, gentlemen. We'll move straight to the crux of the matter, a subject of much current debate. The puzzling conundrum of hysteria. Hysteria meaning you.
Lloyd, sir, a condition of unmanageable emotional excess.
That is correct. From the Greek.
Hysterics, meaning futurist.
Indeed, a term originally coined by Hippocrates. The Hippocratic corpus was previously believed to be what, gentlemen?
Holmes, sir. A variety of conditions, including the Heracles disease, thought to be caused by the travel of the uterus around the body in search of vital bodily fluids.
The wandering womb. Yes. Symptoms.
Paresthesia.
And?
Muteness.
And?
Paralysis.
And?
Suffocation, exertion of
And
threads.
some remedy.
Of pregnancy, sir, to encourage the hysteric uterus to return to its proper location.
Precisely. Now, a contemporary theory. You.
Edward, sir, that hysteria is a sexual dysfunction which can be treated by stimulation. I mean, by the application of water sprays, or the insertion of vibrating anatomical devices. What have I just said?
Let's abandon the fanciful speculation of the Europeans and instead turn our attention to more progressive theories. Anyone? Come on, gentlemen, no one.
Sir?
Go ahead.
In your thesis, you write that hysteria is brought on by a weak immorality of mind to will, that any woman is susceptible.
I do indeed. And that it leads to maladies, such as,
Mania,
yes,
lunacy,
yes,
Paroxysm.
yes.
feminism.
Sir, I believe Charcot says that hysteria is caused by specific biological weaknesses, not by a woman's lack of moral judgment at all, that it's hereditary.
Indeed he does. Did I invite you to stand this?
Moffat, sir.
I wasn't asking your name. I'm not interested in your name. Are you contradicting me in my own lecture?
No.
Are you suggesting these Europeans are superior to my colleagues? Are you an expert?
No.
Have
sir.
you undertaken experiments in in your own laboratory, have you?
Of course not. But sir, these scientists,
They are not scientists. They are fantasists. Miss, why are you here? This is a lecture hall, not a laundry.
sir!
Gentlemen, it has been proven time and again that hysteria results from a state of emotional agitation, commonly observed in the female.
But there is no evidence to prove that women alone
The
are
woman
susceptible to
becomes
hysteria.
agitated
It's merely
as she
observation.
relinquishes control of her emotions.
I am not agitated because I am a woman. I am
Temperature
agitated
rises,
because you omitted
nerves
an
stabilize.
alternative,
A
scientifically
perfect example
proven
of
phenomenon
hysterical
without
agitation
fraud.
leading to mania.
Why don't you acknowledge other people's theories?
I do. Why can't you comprehend that the male organization is one and the female quite another? You seem to think it's merely an affair of the clothes.
But that's not what I'm saying.
Do not contradict me, miss. All you have demonstrated in your face in misguided outbursts is that your sex has no capacity to control your emotional functions. Get out.
What?
Out. And don't even think about coming back to a lecture of mine. There comes a time during a woman's pubic development when she'll expend tremendous energy in the recurring demands of menstruation. Can she bear mental drain in addition to these physical demands? The overexertion of a woman's brain at the expense of other vital organs may lead to atrophy, mania, or worse, may leave her incapacitated as a mother. These, sirs, are not opinions. They are facts of nature proven by science. I should throw the whole lot of you out.
Tess, were you alright? What do you think? What were you thinking? I've never been spoken to like that. Never.
What will Miss Welsh say?
They can't just go on as if we weren't here. We are here. They ought to get used to it. There's Will. Will!
Who's that then, Will? I don't know. Oh, because she seems to know you rather well. I
Thank God you're here. Where have you been? Why weren't you in the lecture?
I was in a tutorial.
You missed quite a scene.
If she had come out of a cannon, she'd have done less damage. So, would you like to introduce us?
We're friends from home.
This is Miss Moffat.
Oh, we know who she is.
Can I just ask what you were thinking, miss? You know well he may not come back. I waited a year to hear that man speak.
What happened?
Ah, Miss Moffat here thought she set our greatest psychiatrist straight on his amateur take on hysteria.
Why, Tess?
He advises the royal family. He had the floor and he was our guest.
You spoke out.
Oh, come now. You can't really expect her to know any better, can you?
What on earth are you thinking?
Will, please.
You can't
We
just
were
stop.
told to ask questions. You could at least. We need to go.
Oh, don't go. Join us for luncheon.
Ah, some other time, Lloyd.
We could, couldn't we? Well, couldn't we?
Dinner? Poker? You can strip Edwards of his assets.
What's left of them?
We should
There
go.
it is.
No flat trousers and sleepers.
can't afford to. I was worried about you. It's all very well you parading yourself.
Parading ourselves? We're not trying to make a spectacle, we're just going to lectures.
But you didn't just go to a lecture. If you were at the Newham Girls' College, you'd be thrown out. They stay in and study.
And they miss out.
They keep their reputations. If you knew what the fellas said about you, you wouldn't be seen out at all.
They can say what they like.
It's your reputation.
Don't patronize me.
Then don't be so naive. I've been getting it in the neck. They barred me from the common room.
Try being a woman.
Try being responsible for a woman.
What?
I promised your father that I won't let you down. But I'm building my career with these people. If they lose respect for me now...
This isn't about you.
Yes, it is. Tess, my exams are coming up and all I can do is worry. About you.
Will,
What's the food like here? Is it ghastly?
Will, I want this.
Is it worse than your mother's?
It's important I pass.
It's important I pass. I need to earn a living. Employers want first. Look, at home, there are plenty of fellows who give their right answer. With 3 years here, they won't wait around. Your father had no idea what he was sending them to. If he knows.
He doesn't need to know.
It's all over the papers, all this business about the right to graduate. You can't hide away.
I'm not embarrassed to be here, Will. Far from it.
I know that, and I'm proud of you. But what happens after this? If you lose the chance for a decent match, what do you do?
Earn a living.
Doing what?
I want to be a scientist.
But you're a woman.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I'm almost forgotten. So what do we do now? Just give up?
This does not maintain a minimum distance of 30 inches.
I know that, but thank you for saying it. The way they talk about it, I hate to hear it.
Come on, Will, don't say anything. Have you spoken to Father? What have you said? Will.
I wrote a letter.
What?
This place.
Have you sent it?
If your
Have you
reputation
sent
is
it?
damaged, not yet.
You have no idea, do you?
When I said yes to your father, we thought you were coming here to learn. Quietly. But this, it would frighten him. It's politics. It's dangerous. Nobody's trying to stop you learning, but you insist on walking into one fight. It's only a degree. You don't need one. What about Mrs. Welsh? She doesn't have a degree, and look at her. Why can't you just be content?
Will, just go.
What?
Just go. Please. You can go now, Spot.
Are you alright, miss?
No, I'm not actually.
There we are then.
I'm fine. I'll be fine. Thank you.
just tell her my sister is.
If you could be...
I need to see her now. May.
Mr. Sullivan, you are welcome at Garton, but whilst you are here, you must respect our rules, so please don't threaten us.
Billy, what are you doing here?
May, you look different.
Thanks. You too.
Not surprising. It's been a long time.
Mr. Sullivan,
Look, you can talk later. You've got to come with me.
What are you talking about?
You're coming with me. I'm taking you home.
I'm not going anywhere.
You are.
You got to invite
I've got every right. Don't make me drag you out of here.
that's enough. Enough. This is a lady, Miss Sullivan.
She's not a lady.
She's a member of this college while she's under my roof.
You've got to come home.
I'm not going anywhere.
You have to. We need you.
You can manage just said.
Things are different now.
Totally. What's going on here? It's her right to be here.
Here? This isn't her world. You're not one of them. Look at you.
I took the examinations. I was told.
Examinations? They don't make no difference. Not up there. There with the rest of us.
Mr. Sullivan, your mother and I made an agreement. Lady Beaumont provides you with an allowance so Maeve can study. Works perfectly well so far. She's an extraordinary student.
No good though, is it? Being extraordinary at books, and there's a babe and youngins with no one to mother them.
What?
You heard?
Billy, where's mother?
Oh, now the concern.
Billy, where's mother?
She's dead. Babe.
What? Dead.
I tried to say words, but I couldn't find anyone to write me a letter. Just my coming here has lost me my job. With the big ships, they don't hang about, and the yachts have their own law. The police don't set foot there. I can't mess them about. I can't work and look after the girls. You've got to come home.
Did she suffer? Mom. I can't.
What? What do you mean you can't?
I can't go.
What?
This is my
But
home.
what about us?
This is her home.
What would you know?
We understand.
How could you understand? We have nothing. The girls won't survive, miss.
I can't do it.
You have to. Tell her. Tell her she has to. They're her sisters. Your sisters, mate. We won't survive.
Maeve,
I can't do it.
You have to. Tell her. You can't just... Is that it? You're just going to... You're just like he was.
I'm nothing like you
You're
want.
just like him. Dear God, ma'am, I can't even look at you.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't know.
you weren't to know.
You sent him away.
Sullivan, I'm afraid you'll need to pack your bag.
Ma'am,
Go to your room and pack.
you can't. You can't do that. Miss Welch, please don't be rash.
You have brothers and sisters you're responsible for.
I didn't
was hoping we'd see you more often.
Well, we mostly take lectures at college now.
Maudsley has banned.
We know, we heard.
Will it take paint, calico?
What sort of paint?
Just something for lettering, emulsion.
Yes, we'll take paint.
Do you think a banner is going to help? Are you really intending to fight this?
Ladies, fellas, what are you doing here?
Oh, just see what's on display.
Mr. Holmes, your package arrived in Paris this morning.
Ah, thank you. Do you approve?
So brocade with double stitching, absolutely.
Let's see then. So, what do you think, ladies?
Maison work, they're all the rage in the Champs-Élysées.
Ah, thank you. This season's. Well, fellas, I'll see you back at college.
You can't seriously believe you'll win.
We might do,
But ladies, we can't vote.
nor can you.
We can't. No. But all of the graduates can. I'm afraid there's little point in your motion.
Boy,
Such victory instance. Thank you. Carolyn, let's go.
What would you do with a degree anyway? Run the country? Be an engineer? Develop a cure for smallpox?
Maybe. I'm going to be a doctor.
And who are you going to doctor, Miss? He? Him? No. Who?
all right, Lloyd, that's enough.
Who?
Just because
No
you're-
man will be doctored by a woman.
Plenty of women will.
But no man will employ you. No man will take your directions. No man will vote for you. So you're a lost cause. Why fight it?
Because it's...
Listen! I was at school at 5. At 7, I knew Plato. At 12, Henry Cadaver. And I'll tell you the name of every last nerve in it. You think you can compete? You think some once a week company governance is enough? Do you? But some tattered note from your brother, a village dunce school for girls. You think that joke of an education gives you a right to set foot here in Cambridge. Cambridge, for God's sake. This isn't some second-rate country hole, Papa's college. We are not average men here. We are the future, the leaders, the establishments. We don't sleep, we don't rest, we don't give up, and we don't come second. We learn. It is our right. It is our blood. 800 years we've studied here. We made this country. We built this nation. Darwin, Milton, Shadwell, Marlowe, Walpole, Newton, Cromwell, Pitt. Then you what? Waltz in here, demonics, and your pretensions, and your preposterous self-belief, and think you can come here to put yourself on a level with us because you need a test tube on a burner. You know what they should do with you? They should put you away. You're mad. You're not natural. You don't have an ounce of womanhood in your body. You won't be mothers, and you won't be wives. Why would you do that? No normal woman would want that. Because you know no man will ever have you. You're a joke. All of you a joke. Doctor, for God's sake.
Oh, I know the human body as well as any man.
Well, I'll be damned if any man wants to touch his body. Unless he's paying you like a common ball.
That was harsh, Lloyd.
They're going to lose anyway. They might as well get used to it. Now you, if you be so kind, are after a pair of lady stockings, blue stockings any size.
Get out.
What did you say?
Get out of my shop.
Well, my father will be quite disappointed to hear that one of his establishments is being bought over by a blue stocking supporter. Look at the number of bids for the leases bring in.
Here. There's a big dog. Take it.
Thanks. Keep the change.
Good morning. I trust that you are ready.
I hope you're not about to waste our time.
No, sir.
Wilbon, Addison, and Moffat, yes?
That's correct.
Miss Wilbon, I've read your papers. All 800 pages of them. You suggest here a student in Zurich is legitimately challenging Galileo.
The man's 17.
You've read his thesis,
All of it, sir.
and you think Galileo got it wrong.
Sir, he doesn't account for the constant speed of light. He assumes it's affected by where you are and how fast you're moving.
And now this Einstein has set his sights on Newton, we hear.
I think you may be right to do so, sir.
Your evidence. balance on an orbital path, indeed. And you could balance this yourself.
Yes, sir.
How?
By getting out of boat and going out there into the Atlantic.
This research is expensive. Could you justify it?
Absolutely. The safety of Atlantic crossing might depend on it.
Miss Moffat, the classification of stars. You know the Draper catalogue is generally regarded as groundbreaking.
It is, sir, without doubt. But I mean it could be improved
How so?
by subdividing the stars according to temperature.
You want to measure the temperature of a star?
Yes, sir.
But you don't have the telescopic equipment.
I wouldn't rely on the telescope, sir. If you split a star's light emissions with a diffraction grating, you can subdivide photons into a spectrum and analyze the absorption lines.
To tell you what,
Which ions are present in which chemical element,
Giving you the chemical composition of the element.
and therefore the temperature.
you've completed the practical stuff.
Not yet, sir.
Why not?
To do so, I need to be in the southern hemisphere.
Evolutionary theory. You cover Lamarck here, but what of his opponents?
His opponents?
Cuvier.
How does Cuvier critique the theory of spontaneous generation? What did Cuvier say about fossil records?
He said that sometimes new fossils appear out of nowhere.
For instance,
If a species is wiped out, other organisms move in to replace them.
example.
In a volcanic winter, there's increased sulfates in the soil, so it's more fertile.
Name the arthropods in Cuvier's study.
I don't remember.
Sorry.
I don't remember.
Tell me, what is the location in which he conducted his survey?
I think Spain. No, France. France.
And the name of the process.
Stratigraphy.
What type of stratigraphy?
Geostratigraphy.
Biostratigraphy.
Tell me, with whom did he complete his survey?
I'm sorry?
I just need the name of the scientist, Miss Moffat, the name and the year, please.
I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't remember. I don't know.
Miss Wilbon, you're very thorough. I suggest you learn to be more succinct. You passed, well done.
Miss Addison, your self-assurance doesn't become you yet. There's merit enough here to warrant a pass. Congratulations.
Miss Moffat, I'm impressed, but a pass requires excellence across the board. And without exception, I'm afraid it's a vow.
Do persevere with astronomy in your own time, won't you? You've got quite a talent. Miss Welsh, ladies, thank you very much.
What will I do? You'll go home.
She can't go home.
Won't have its merits. You can take long walks, see your friends, spend time with your family, read a book, recover your health. Try to put Garrison out of your mind.
I can.
But you must. Then, when your health returns, you will pack your trunk, get back on the train, and make sure you're not late for beginning of term in September.
What? But Miss Welsh.
Occasionally, and just occasionally, it is right to make an exception.
amphitheater hoardings and the railings from Queens and set them on fire in the square. The police can't get near them, and they were heading this way.
Lord knows what to do when they get here.
You should get out of here, all of you. Just go. Go with the back way. Don't, for God's sake, go near them.
This is preposterous. I worked my whole life for this day, and I refuse to have it compromised by some petulant juveniles. They have no right.
Not you. Please, don't let it go, sir.
Don't tell me what to do. I will speak to them.
You don't understand. They've made an effigy now.
What?
A woman on a bicycle, a plaque around its neck. They strung it up, paraded it like Guy Fawkes. A woman in blue stockings. When they got to the square, they doused it in oil and burnt it. They stood, cheered, and watched it burn.
Elizabeth.
Anyone voting yes has been sought out. They chased them down, throwing rocks, firecrackers, anything they could get their hands on. It's chaos out there.
That's enough. Enough. Minnie! I'll fetch the coat myself. They shall not make a mockery of us. I'll be damned if they do.
Elizabeth!
Are you all right?
No, you?
Not really.
Well then.
Jesus!
Right, go down now.
No!
No!
No! Carolyn!
What? This isn't right. It can't be right.
To hell with
What
that.
are you doing? Just get out. I don't think you heard me. I said get out. If you leave now, there'll be minimal trouble.
Fellas, please, just go home.
No, what the hell are you doing here?
Listen to me. I said go home. You shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be here. You're not one of them, are you? Like he is.
Will, be careful.
Whose side are you on anyway? You're either with us or you're against us.
All right, like it's enough.
Whose side are you on?
I'd be ashamed to be on yours.
Stop! What? No! Dear God, what have you done? How dare you come in here like this? 30 years we slaved for this day and you should be ashamed. It's a sin! You have no thought, no respect, no dignity. It's not your livelihood. You sacrifice nothing. Nothing. We sweat, bleed. We give up everything we have in the world for this and you. You're barbarians. Barbarians. Get out. Get out. All of you. Out. Out. Let me go to the boy.
Miss Butcher, you're all right.
Mr. Peck, is there any news? Mr. Peck, is there news?
I'm sorry, ma'am. We lost.
We lost.
We lost. We lost.
So what happens now?
What?
What will you do now, you girls?
What do you mean, what do we do now?
I didn't mean to be rude, really. I'm not saying you should leave. You should stay, if you want to. I'm just, if this whole course, this place, if it's not recognized, any of it, it will be like no one will even know you were here. What will you do? Yes, what will you do?
We'll carry on. We'll carry on.
Wait. Eventually, the Senate succumbed to pressure, and Cambridge awarded women the right to graduate. It was 50 years later, in 1948.
So that's our show, and I guess everyone read the back of the program, which I neglected to announce because I'm terrible at announcing things, which says there will be a brief talk back in which we'll try to model something called forums that happens at every festival. And what happens is there's a student forum and a director's forum. All of us adult-type people, we go off into a different room, and the students here, they will stay in the room and get some